Hey folks, Bill Swift from Swift Canoe and Kayak. We are in Oxtongue Lake at home base, our test paddling center, on a beautiful day. We're so excited about this new baby. This is our Pack 13.8 to replace the Pack 13.6, which was a wonderful boat. We've made a few tweaks and adjustments to it. Let me tell you about this particular boat first. This baby is a Kevlar Fusion in ruby, the beautiful cloth. Then it's got the black and gold carbon Kevlar trim. It can be also ordered in all black. It comes standard with carbon end caps, cherry handles, the adjustable kayak foot braces that you can adjust right where you're sitting. They come with cherry thwarts. This is an optional cherry detachable yoke. It can also be ordered in sassafras or carbon. And here's one of the biggest features of our pack boats is our seat system. Now, one of the neat things about this particular boat is that this is an inch wider than our cruiser series. It's got more volume to it, so it's got more stability. So we're able to put the seat a little bit higher off the ground, which makes it easier to get in and out of the boat. Now it's got the beautiful, real thick foam, medical foam, super comfortable. It's got the adjustable lumbar support, very thick foam in the back of it. Seat straps are very adjustable. We hear time and time again that we've got by far the most comfortable seats in the pack boat industry. Now when you're not using the seat, it easily folds down, and you've got a strap here that connects that you can tighten up. If you're driving, you're storing it with it. So beautiful boat. There's a good amount of volume in the back end here. Now we put float tanks in the boat, and they're air tanks. So there's pressurization valves at each end that you just clip on quickly when you get ready to go with it. This has a really cool shape, guys. The bottom shape of the boat has a shallow arch bottom. So it's nice and wide. It's got tons of stability, very rounded in the chine area. So it really rolls with waves very nicely. It's very predictable in adverse conditions. Very close to the hull shape on our Adirondack 13.6 kayak and our Pack 13.6. Good stability, good seaworthiness, straighter keeled in the back end so it tracks really nicely. The bow's got a little bit of rocker so you can really pull it around corners when you want to. Now what we really changed with the boat this year is the above waterline shape more resembles what we've done with our cruisers. It's got what we call the S bend to the gunnels, which makes it narrower so you don't have to reach quite as far over the sides when you're paddling. Super cool feel. So the Pack 13.8, if you're looking for a boat with lots of stability, good performance, good room to put things in the boat, gear, small child, a dog, this is definitely a pack boat you want to consider. So let's talk about paddles real quick, guys. This is a Werner Callist, extendable from 240 to 260 centimeters. I think everybody that has a pack boat should have one of these paddles. You can adjust the length of the paddle and the pitch. I'm a 30 right, so I know exactly what I like, and you learn over time what feels best for you. Just with one click, you can set the paddle. I find on a real windy day, I like making the paddle longer. It keeps the inside of the boats a little bit drier. So I'm going to paddle with this first. I'll show you, but let me show you a couple of the other paddles I like to use in pack boats. So I'll quite often use a bent shaft paddle. And I use the Black Pearl from Bending Branches a lot. It's got the super tough bottom on it. I use my equipment pretty hard, and these paddles really get beat on. You can really use it. Super lightweight. It's got a nice feeling shaft. I really like the grip on it. So I'm going to show you about this also. When I go on my day trips, I'll often take both a canoe paddle and a kayak paddle. Now, 98% of the people that use pack boats use exclusively a kayak paddle, a double-bladed paddle. So I like showing people some options. I also like to use, and you can use a very short wooden single blade straight shaft. This is a Badger Bonga that we make at Swift. It's a beautiful paddle for this boat. So let's take this baby along also. Now we talked about, guys, the seat is an inch higher than some of our other models. So if anybody has had knee replacement, hip replacement, they just don't bend as well as they used to, because the seat's up higher, it's in a position that makes it a little bit easier to get into the boat, and then when you finish paddling, to push up and to get back up out of the boat. You don't have to push yourself quite as far. So I always like turning my kayak blade down to the dock when I get in, putting one hand right in the back on the thwart and the paddle so it holds it firmly in place. What you don't want to do is put your knuckles underneath the paddle on the dock when you sit on it, because you can crush your knuckles. Just keep your hand flat and push down. You push your body up to slide right into the boat. Always hold on to the dock, folks, and stay right near here until you get your seat positioned properly, until you get your foot braces adjusted. So many people that we see capsize do it very close to the dock, and it's because they haven't set themselves up properly. Their seat's not adjusted right. The foot brace isn't adjusted. So I just like people to spend time, get comfortable in the boat, and holding on to the dock, it's good to wiggle the boat around. Get yourself comfortable in it. This boat has tons of room in it, and we're going to show you, like, you can have a small child, small dog, fish tackle equipment. So I'm going to pull away from the dock here. So here's the sculling stroke that we show in some of our videos, where you really want to keep your upper arm up. You can bring your paddle back and forth, and you can move the boat sideways very easily. Drift right in. I'm very fortunate. I grew up at a canoe camp, so I've learned all kinds of skills. When you do these draw strokes, keep your upper arm up and keep your paddle in front of you. You don't want it right at your body. You can hit your head. So very neat how you can move the boat around like this. So let's go for a paddle with a kayak paddle now. I'll show you how well this boat moves. It really accelerates nicely and keeps gliding into the next stroke. So I'll take a stroke. Keeps moving. With a kayak paddle, they track so beautifully. Okay, let's show you now, folks. I'm going to come right at the dock here. Now, I want to turn right, so I'm going to lean the boat left. And did you see how it just sort of jumped right away? This is something that's really neat to practice. And now I'm going to bring it down flat, and I'll lean to the right. As I lean to the right, the boat really turns left. As your skills improve with boats like the Pac 12-6, the Pac 13-8, our cruiser series, you've really learned more handling characteristics. It's really fun as you get used to this. Paddle windy, twisty creeks. You can do most of your correction strokes, and I'll show you again. It's an odd feeling, so I'm going to lean the boat right, and it's going to just start turning left. It's the opposite of when you're bicycling or you're skiing. When you lean into a turn, you lean outside of the turn, and the boat really accelerates your turn so much. Now, when people learn this, one thing that I find is they overturn. You've got to bring the lean back down before the turn ends. And it's a really fun skill to have. So these Kayak kayak paddles with the adjustable length, adjustable pitch to them, we can get these very easily. If you have trouble finding them where you are, contact us. We can send you one. If you're buying a boat from a dealer, we can help you buy one through the dealer. Absolutely incredible paddles. They're not making them commercially anymore other than for us, and I swear by them. The ability to adjust the length of it makes it that I can make it where when the water drips off the paddle, I can keep it outside the boat. If it's too short, the paddle, when it gets wet, water can drip in, especially if the wind, the splash, the spray is hitting the boat. Now, let me show you one other thing. I'm going to take this apart now. It's time to try another toy out. So let's try the bent shaft paddle. Nice to have different tools to enjoy your pack boat with. Now, the most popular use for this boat is for people that want to do day trips or overnight trips. They want to take fishing gear. They want to have a boat that's really stable. When they cast out, they're reeling in. You're catching a big fish. Lots of room in here. It's a super cool boat for that. Now, many people, though, like to use a canoe paddle. A lot of solo canoeists will get a boat like this, use a short bent shaft paddle. The blades are so short that it's very easy to switch sides quickly with them. I can do the same leaning. I'll lean the boat left. Look how quick I can turn this boat. I get it almost all the way around, and then I can do a cross bow draw. Really bring it all the way in. Then I can head back to the dock. I'll come back to you again. And I'm going to start leaning the boat to the right. Look at this. It makes it really sporty feeling. Now, if I want to go in a straight line really fast, I find that I can get in a boat like the Pack 13.8, 5 strokes or so on average per side, and it feels pretty comfortable. Now, a lot of people like to fish, use a boat more casually, will get a really short canoe paddle. You don't want to get a real long paddle like you use when you're higher up in a canoe seat in a tandem or solo canoe. Your arm will just be way up. So if you get a shorter one, you can keep the stroke down real low. You can do different strokes. I'll do one here where I can keep the paddle in the water throughout my stroke. Very graceful way to paddle the boat. So I'll turn this boat around quickly again, and with this little paddle, guys, it's so much fun. I feel like I'm in a little sports car right here. So why do you want to pack 13.8? The principal reason is you get kayak-like performance. You get the kayak seat comfort, you've got the kayak foot braces, it's so easy to adjust. Your butt's higher off the floor than in a kayak, so it's a more comfortable position when you're up a little bit. Really easy to move around. We're selling these to all kinds of people, and quite commonly it's to people that really want a versatility. They want a day paddling boat, they may want to go tripping. One of the big things we find is people love this boat for fishing. So if you can see this setup, guys, there's so much rear room right in front of me here to put the gear, put your fishing pole. So it's very easy when you want. You can cast out so easy. You can reel in. A very common accessory people get are the universal mount package on this boat, where you can get all kinds of Scotty mounts on it. So you can put on stuff for a fish finder, a fishing pole holder, you can have a GoPro mount, you can have a camera mount, you can mount a GPS on it. Makes it so versatile, and it's all just right in front of you. It's so accessible. So these boats are so cool, really appeal to the outdoor sportsman. One of the big things about it is just the feeling of the comfort I have now. I don't feel any uneasiness at all in this boat. It's got an incredible amount of stability. So why don't I come into the dock here, and I'm going to take it out for another paddle. Many folks ask us, how do I easily get out of a pack boat? It's a little bit different than a kayak, but it's the same overall technique. You put the paddle behind you. I like digging my paddle blade into the shore on a rock and the sand and something. And I put my hand just like we showed you getting in. I'll put one hand on the thwart, one hand on the paddle. I bring one leg right back in as close as you can get to your body. You push up with your arms, and you can steady yourself on your feet and slowly get out of the boat. So especially people that have had hip replacement, knee replacement, they need a little bit more help with it, but that's a good way. Now, I'm going to show you something else which is pretty cool. I'll just take my shoes off quickly. This is a type of boat that you can also straddle. So I'm going to pull my pant legs up. So we do have many people that use what we call a semi-plop technique, and you don't want to drop all your weight on the boat like really fast. It's not good for the seat base, but very quickly I can get in and out of the boat that way. So how does that look, folks? If you're at a beach or a shallow water put in, the water's a nice temperature, great way to get into your pack boat. Then I finish my paddle up. I'm coming back in again. So what I'm going to do, put one foot on one side, one foot on the other side. Try to, if you can, dig your paddle in a little bit, it'll help. But just stand right up quickly. A Pack 13.8, if you're looking for a boat with lots of versatility, very lightweight, this is a baby you definitely want to check out. Cheers.